We live in a system that is only treating symptoms, not the root cause of anything.
What is actually happening at the cellular level when someone says, I have no energy?
You have cells that are becoming dormant or senescent cells or zombie cells, as like people like to call them. They start signaling misinformation to the other cells. We live 12 years of our lives just dying. We're on pills, we're not functioning, and that's just not how we were meant to be.
What are some simple ways they can start increasing their energy levels?
The foundation of longevity is
Hey friends, welcome back to Live with Purpose. I'm Anna Lawson, your host. Here we believe that by transforming ourselves, we transform the world and make the world better. And I want to ask you a question today. What if the way you feel every day, your energy, your focus, even the way you age isn't fixed, but something that you can actively influence? Millions of people are dealing with low energy and chronic inflammation. But the exciting part is that your body is designed to heal and adapt when given the right signals. Our today's guest, Sanjiv Lal, breaks down how to work with your biology so you can feel more energized and in control of your health starting today. Please help me welcome Sanjiv Lal. I'm so honored to have you here in the studio.
Oh, I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
Sanjiv Lal is a healthcare entrepreneur and investor with over 20 years of experience building and scaling medical and wellness companies. Today, he is a co-founder and partner at Motivant, owner of Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center, and co-founder of Regan Therapy. Sanjiv is holding both a Bachelor of Science and Master of Science in Pharmaceutical Sciences from The Ohio State University. His path into regenerative medicine began with a personal health challenge, which led him to explore advanced therapies and uncover bigger issues. Many promising treatments were too expensive, inaccessible, and inconsistent in quality. That insight led him to co-found Regan Therapy, a platform focused on helping the body heal using natural biological signals with the goal of making these therapies safer, more affordable, and widely available. His mission is to democratize regenerative medicine, advancing promising science, improving safety, lowering costs, and building the infrastructure needed to make next-generation therapies accessible to the people who need them most.
What an intro! Like, what an amazing intro. That's so great. So thank you. That was amazing.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, we met through several mutual friends. Wonderful Dr. Kate that was on our show recently, in our season 2, and everybody was raving about you. So that's why you're on here. That's why we have you. And like you said, 80% of U.S. population struggles with chronic inflammation, which is such a high number.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, we're in an epidemic phase in our lives, and our society is aging very poorly. We have lifespan at 77. Our health span is at 65. We live 12 years of our lives just dying. We're on pills. We're not functioning, and that's just not how we were meant to be. I think that's a hell within itself, you know. Mm-hmm. And so this is an opportunity for us to revitalize our bodies, understand it, and start to reverse aging, which, you know, is, I think we're supposed to live to 120, so we should make that happen.
absolutely. So your personal journey started with your personal health crisis. And so tell us a little bit about how it all began.
Yeah, you know, for me, it's like I've been in healthcare. I went to school for pharmaceutical sciences. I worked for Eli Lilly and Company. I've worked for biotech startups out of the South Bay in San Francisco. I started my own laboratory doing pharmacogenetic testing and genetic testing. I really lived the life of traditional medicine for the most part, right? Did really well in the infectious disease space. Actually did very well during the COVID space. But also I was working a lot. I was very stressed. I was putting my body through a lot, but I wasn't taking care of myself. So, you know, I think about it as we take so much pride and ownership in our homes and our cars and the clothes, but we forget to take pride in the ownership of our health. And I'm a victim of that myself, you know. So when the time came for me, when I was like, hey, I got sick, I thought I was in great hands, right? Mm-hmm. You know, because I was a part of the healthcare system. I had great access. I knew, you know, family members who were physicians, close friends that were physicians at great institutions like the Cleveland Clinic and the Mayo Clinic. And you were like, if anything is going to happen, I'm going to be okay, right? You know, because I have the access, I have those things and the resources to be accessible to that. But when I got sick, I ended up in the ICU. And all of that was gone, like no one knew what they were doing. We were trying different things. I ended up.
And what was actually wrong with you? What
I
were
got
the symptoms?
I had a fever of about 103. I was self-diagnosing myself, which is terrible to do. Like
No.
self-treating.
No.
So I needed to continue to do what we were doing in the space, right? And so we were in a startup mode during this process, right? COVID was very new. And we were trying to figure things out as well too. So we were working through a lot of it, and we were exposing ourselves. I was not, staying enclosed in any place. I was still traveling. I was still doing those things because we were part of the solution for the pandemic. And so we were out there on the front lines of a lot of that as a testing laboratory in the space. And so what we did during that time was get in front of people who were sick. And so we were trying to change that course and we thought we were part of the solution during that time. And so you get to meet all these great, healthcare experts and during even that time in the world. And I got sick and I continued to get sick, but I kept on doing what I was supposed to do.
And how long was that happening?
3 weeks. So I did it for about 3 weeks before I ended up just like falling down. And then they called an ambulance, and then next thing you know, I'm in the emergency room. I was very conscious during the whole thing, so it was like not like I was unconscious, but I was like kind of delirious. Get carted off. I spent a few hours in the ER. They shoved me upstairs to the 4th floor in the ICU. Western Reserve Hospital is where I was at in Cleveland, and then next thing you know, like 6 hours later, they're like, if you get it on, we're going to put you on remdesivir. I think that's the solution. Your COVID,
But that's very bad for kidneys.
It's very bad for
right?
the kidney. Yeah, I mean, the worst side effect you could possibly have is kidney disease. I mean, the joke is, and sorry Gilead for saying this, but the joke is they call it run, death is near, for people who are after they took it during COVID. And if I wasn't, I think 40, I might have been in a different situation, But yeah, I got super sick. I ended up taking remdesivir. I went in there what I thought was healthy, which I wasn't. I was aging poorly. That's why I got so sick, So like my version of health at that time was like, oh, I'm okay. I was definitely heavier. I was overweight, definitely had inflammation all throughout my body, but I just thought that was a part of aging. So I'm going in there sick as a sick person, not knowing that they're sick, thinking that they're just aging the way that you're supposed to age in the Midwest. And
These are all things that we think that are normal, but
Right.
they're not normal.
Not normal,
at all.
right? And so I didn't realize that at that time. I come to that realization later, but I get out of there 6 months after getting treated. I only took 5 of the 6 therapies, and I was like, I could not walk right. I was more inflamed. I had more inflammation in my body all over. My face was like, I felt like it was exploding, and my knees hurt. I was fatigued. They were like, you have long COVID. Then I'm like, long COVID, maybe. I probably did have long COVID. But when they did like all these tests on me, they found out like my EGFR, which is your kidney function, was 45, which, I went in there at my physical, it was 70 when I turned 40. And so now it's 45, which is stage 3 kidney disease. And like, what do you do with that response except for be like, how am I gonna? What's the plan? Like I'm looking at these guys. I'm thinking to myself in my mind, my dad just passed away this past year in July. He died. He got a port put in. No, it's okay. It was a part of the story. Like he gets a port put in. He has a massive heart attack before he gets his first dialysis treatment. Then this guy over here is telling me, hey, 6 months down the road, after you get treated and you're in this situation that, oh my God, you're also at risk of this. So it puts you into this like backward state of like, where am I going? And their answers were no good, right? You're 40. I'm not dying.
You felt that they didn't know what they were doing.
No, I just felt like that's the system that they're in, right? They just know how to treat symptoms.
And did they help you, or you
no,
actually
they didn't help me. We went. I was like, I need to go on a different journey or a different path because we live in a system that is only treating symptoms.
Exactly.
And
the cause.
Not the root cause of anything. And so I ended up getting into the regenerative space through people, and I couldn't find the answers in the United States. Every answer was go overseas. Go to Costa Rica, go to Colombia, Go to
Interesting.
Mexico, go overseas to Europe. You'll find better answers over there because we can't do anything for you here for regeneration. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. In Switzerland, they have a company and a lab that was doing a version of the product that we make today, which is a secretome product. It's cell factors, and it's isolated placentally derived stem cells, but they isolate them and they make them acellular and DNA free using bioreactors, right? And
So that journey was catalyst for you to start doing what you're doing now.
we sold
and helping-
everything.
Okay.
We sold everything in our life sciences space from the laboratories that we had built, and we built a stem cell laboratory in Oklahoma City. We tried to build one in Dallas. We missed that. We'd put it in Oklahoma City, and we said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make this type of product that's acellular, it's DNA free. We're going to bring it to the United States, and we're going to give access to more people.
So I just want to say something for our audience. So you basically had to formulate a product and heal yourself. Is that how you actually got better?
Exactly.
Okay,
So
yeah,
we come across a laboratory in Dallas, a person who's doing it in Dallas. We understand how to get access to the cells here and the process, and then we start making it and manufacturing it ourselves. And what it was cell factors. It was a secretome, and I start taking it. I had already taken it, the version of it from Switzerland, and then I start taking it here. Right, and my body changes. I go from this chronic fatigue, this massive inflammation, and my body changes. I don't change overnight, but a course of 6 months to a year, I am able to start exercising again. I'm not fatigued.
You have more energy.
My energy is great. I'm sleeping better. I'm starting the whole process again, all over again, of moving in the right direction, right? Like my body is able to function in a way where I'm not like, I just walked up the stairs and my knees don't freaking hurt, you know?
When was that moment when you became aware that the stem cells and cell signaling was actually the cause of your condition?
I realized that no one here in the United States actually talks about fixing themselves. They only talk about treating what's wrong with you. And that was my aha moment. Like, I don't want to be on dialysis. I don't want to be on drugs. I don't want to be on these things the rest of my life. So how do I fix that? Right? So what's causing this to happen in my body? And the answer is none of those answers they're willing to give you. Their only solution is more drugs, more therapies, and more treatments to follow that, which are then cause you to be on other drugs.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're 60, you're going to be on 27 drugs.
So it doesn't solve anything.
Doesn't solve
it's just get more and more drugs, and it's not removing the cause of why you feel that way. So many people today feel constantly tired. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what they know. They know that they're tired, they have no energy. So what is actually happening at the cellular level when someone says, I have no energy?
Yeah, and so when you don't have any energy, that's one of the first symptoms and signs of aging that we need to address. I believe aging is a disease. Inflammation is the cause of that aging, and it rapidly progressed. When you don't have energy, it's because your cellular function is dysfunctioning, right? You are missignaling. You have cells that are becoming dormant, or senescent cells, or zombie cells, as like people like to call them, where they start signaling misinformation to the other cells.
Because cells are constantly exchanging information between each other. That's
100%.
how.
That's how they communicate. That's how we were born. We were born through cell signaling. That's why we harness that technology. When you're this big as a zygote to 9 months, that whole process is cell signaling. It's a code that is mapped out. We know every position in life in 9 months of when you're going to have a heart, when you're going to have a kidney, when you're going to have a lung, and when you're going to have liver, and all of the functionality.
And it all started from a single cell.
It all starts from a single cell, two cells joining together. It's a zygote, and that becomes a human being in 9 months through a cell signaling process, right? We are harnessing that technology and saying that's what happens. And when you start to age, at 18, you have a little bit of a downfall. At 28, you have a massive decline in cell signaling. And then at 44, you have another massive cell decline, or cell signaling decline. And then at 62, 64, you have another one. So you have three major cascades. When we can address aging at 28, 29 years old, put those cell signals back into our body, we won't age. Cellularly, we won't age. It'll slow down the process. There's so many things that are aging us in our society, the food we eat, the air we breathe, the clothes we wear, the bottle of water we drink out of. All of these things are addressing cellular dysfunction, right? And they're causing cellular dysfunction. And we are aging faster than any other time in history.
And
Yes.
most people are not unaware of this.
Yeah.
So what are some simple ways that somebody watching right now recognizing themselves and say, this is me, I have no energy, I'm always tired? What are some simple ways they can start increasing their energy levels?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
right now.
energy levels are mitochondrial dysfunction, right? So that's the engine inside the cell that does all of the work, right? And so when we start aging and we start, getting cellular dysfunction, we start to leak mitochondria, and that mitochondria leakage creates this inflammation, and then the inflammation starts to attack it. We start to attack it.
And what are some ways that we can prevent that from happening? Is it the supplements? Is it
yeah.
maybe movement? How can we
The
change it?
foundation of longevity is what we eat on a regular basis, how we exercise on a regular basis, how do we move, right? And also our mindset and our belief system. So our mind has a great power to take care of our bodies, but we also have to do the physical actions too. That's an initial that's the initial phase of longevity. We want to stop aging happening faster. Let's start moving as a society.
Do you recommend yoga or anything specific, or whatever works for
any
for
movement
you?
is
Any
better than
movement.
what we're doing right now. Like we don't even walk. We take cars everywhere we go, even if we're going a half a block down the street. Movement is the key to that initial phase. Yoga is amazing. Pilates is amazing. Exercise is amazing. Just getting up and going is foundationally is sound.
And also thoughts, power of positive thinking,
Right.
not having toxic, just like toxic food, you can have toxic way of thinking. So being positive, do you recommend meditation?
Meditation in the morning, I think is amazing. Like my favorite thing to do is just to be in darkness and for 10 to 15 minutes in complete silence. It lets you mull over your own thoughts and without noise. And in my mind, that's the best foundation of meditation is because you have to deal with your own thoughts without any distractions. And it allows your thoughts to dissipate because they're not that important usually. They're ways of just distracting your mind and making you feel worse than you are, or they're distractions. These are emotions that make you feel detached or unattached to society, when really you want to be attached to the community that you're living in, be attached to the world that you're a part of, and knowing when to detach is super important too. And that's
so
how
meditation is really powerful.
Is very powerful.
We do want to start with a clear mind.
Yeah,
it's
and
very
optimism.
powerful.
Yeah, optimistic mind, a healthy mindset, healthy body mindset. So when you do start to age and you have this cascade, you can address it and you can recognize it too. And it's not normal. It's not a normal part of aging, right?
Absolutely.
And so, low energy at 28, 29 years old, 30 years old is not normal.
I know.
We need to start thinking hey, my body is young, it's youthful. I should be living to 120. 30 is only a quarter of the way there, right? And so I need to start fixing how that is and putting the things that are making me age back into my body, which are the cell signals, and you.
So it's important to start looking at the root causes.
Correct.
If you're feeling tired, if you're experiencing fatigue, chronic inflammation, go back to the root causes. Don't just take more and more medications, right?
Don't just, or supplements.
Yeah,
Let's find out why. We fake the energy. We put caffeine. We do
That's
this.
our next question.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the supplements really quickly. So fatigue. You also mentioned fatigue, and many people struggle with it. So is fatigue really about lifestyle, or it is also about breakdowns in communication between ourselves? Is fatigue the same thing happening?
Fatigue is a cell signaling dysfunction because you are being tired because your body's cellular communication is off because it's not helping to have this mitochondrial health in the cells. And so that mitochondrial health in the cells is what gives us energy. So us not having fatigue is a lack of energy. That lack of energy comes from mitochondrial dysfunction. We are not producing in a proper way the energy in our bodies. And so our bodies react by telling us, hey, something's wrong, right? If you're any person who's getting sleep and resting and exercising should have should have energy in their day and in their life.
Wow.
That's not normal to be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm so tired, right? That's like these ideas.
We can change that. We can
change
actively
that.
influence.
100%.
There is so much noise around supplements. Okay, so what actually works versus what is just marketing? What should people look for in supplements?
So my thing with all things is fix the cell and everything else will be fine. You will start to get better. If you start adding things, your body doesn't need it yet. It just needs to get restored. The first thing we should always do is restore our body's cellular health. When we do that, then all of the supplementation, all of the peptides, any of these things that we're adding are going to blow up. They're going to work faster. They're going to work better. They're going to be more efficacious. Our body's going to respond better. So we're going to feel this amazing result because our body's taking a supplement, whether it's a peptide, whether it's NAD, it's taking all of these things in when our cells are healthy, like when they're young. And so your body reacts to it in a much better way. So you become a better version of the product that you're thinking, right? And so, and these products attenuate or they fatigue out. So you have to have good cellular health to make them work.
What should people focus on if they're looking at a supplement? What are some ways that they can recognize what is actually going to help them, or what do you suggest? How do they begin?
Yeah, so when you go on a protocol, I think again, it's just finding your cellular function first. Then when you go on a protocol, let's establish what is necessary. You don't need to go all the way to the end and use 5 or 6 products. You need to start with 1 and maybe 2 and see how they're working, how they're behaving, so you know which one product's working and how it's doing. Simple things of putting it back into your body, addressing getting a diagnostic test or diagnostic tests to understand how your body's aging and what's happening to it, and then looking at where it's aging, right? So if I take a systems age test, like a generation lab test, that gives you an organ age test, you can actually say, oh, my kidneys are aging faster than my heart, or my heart's aging super fast. So I'm going to take a supplement for that, right?
You own several companies, you're part of it. So tell us where our audience can find you so they can know.
This is the best part right here. And I love you for asking me that question, because you go to regentherapy.com, right? If you go to Regen Therapy, we do the work for you in the sense of identifying the diagnostics that you should be on or you should use. We make it super convenient. It's accessible in all 50 states. We're democratizing the longevity movement. We're making it accessible for anyone. Whether you're in Ohio, Iowa, or Beverly Hills, you will have access to the movement. And
so tell us the website one more time.
Yeah, so regentherapy.com and Sanjiv20 as the code to get 20% off.
Oh, this is amazing. Thank you. So inflammation, I heard you say this, 80% of US population struggles with chronic inflammation. This is such a high number.
This is.
All right. So how is it connected to cellular mixed communication? Also, it goes back to the cells not exchanging the information.
Yeah. So the inflammation occurs because our cells recognize dysfunction in them, right? So the dysfunction comes from the mitochondrial leakage. So our cells start leaking stuff.
Oh, okay.
And our body is like, that's not normal. So they start attacking that to fix it, right? They're going,
so what does inflammation actually do inside the body?
Well, it creates noise, right? So this noise in our body starts to get really loud, right? And so then our cells start to go, oh, I need to attack it. I need to attack it. So you get inflammation in areas that are not inflamed. Right? And so our body's under an inflammation attack. I call it a cytokine rush.
Does everyday low-level stress has something to do with it?
Oh, stress is 100% one of the reasons why, like, you think about your cortisol levels, you think about your oxidative stress levels.
Adrenaline.
Yes, you're running on adrenaline. We're running on caffeine. A lot of us are running on caffeine, not normal energy. We're depleting ourselves. And so we're creating our own noise, right? So it goes back to a lot of our mental health and physical health, where we stand on that side. But then understanding it and how to alleviate some of that naturally. But then if you can alleviate naturally, what do I go to and where do I go to do it? Because our bodies are under attack. And it's the food we eat too. Like, it should be freaking illegal for a kid to get Starbucks that has 150 milligrams of sugar in it. It should be illegal. They get these drinks that are this big that have 150 milligrams of sugar in there, and they're 15 years old. And then we wonder why we have dysfunction at earlier on.
So sugar, no sugar.
I mean, okay, you can have sugar, but like not what we're consuming.
Yeah. So what are some simple ways people can reduce inflammation and feel better day to day?
I think the biggest thing is what you eat and how
Again,
you exercise, right? And so like if you what you're eating and what you're doing in your body is putting into it, it creates inflammation. Now, to take care of that inflammation, I think the easiest way to start this whole process is to take cell factors, right? You put them back into your body, and then you start to see the difference in how your body is responding. And then you can start to ease your diet and ease your exercise into a routine.
Really simply, for somebody who doesn't know what cell factors are, what are cell factors?
Yeah.
Simply said.
Simply said, they are a secretome. So they're acellular, they're DNA signaling environment. So they're proteins, they're chemokines, they're growth factors, they're microRNA in there, they're extracellular vesicles like exosomes, they're a subset. It's the entire signaling language of our body. And it's acellular and it's DNA free. When you get a stem cell transplant or infusion, the whole goal is to get this at the end. And what we have done is put this product in the forefront. It's first. Let's put the signaling environment back first.
And then is there any natural way that we can do that? Influence, meditation, thoughts, quantum field, I don't know, Dr. Joe Dispenza, like any natural ways of getting better?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
that if we don't want to do, let's say, stem cell transplant.
Yeah, no, I you know, like stem cell transplant it's very expensive too, right? So we're trying to make it much cheaper with the cell factors, but their natural healing is done in a great way to do it is through meditation, yoga, mindset, because you can control your brain power. Because that stress that you build inside your head, or that anxiety that you have, that mental capability, if you can learn how to deal with it, you don't send the same stress signals across your body.
So you're keeping your energy within the system, so the system stays strong. Is that what's happening when you meditate? When you're keeping your temple healthy?
Yeah, when you're
right?
keeping your temple healthy, you feel better.
Exactly.
You feel better, right?
Yeah.
When your body's feeling better, then also your mind can start to feel better. It could be it's like the chicken or the egg. Is the body or the mind feeling better? Some people have these amazing bodies, but their mind it stresses them out. And some people have amazing minds and their bodies aren't there. So it's this idea of like, I have to have a strong mindset and I have to have the physical body to follow it. And that's really the change, you know? And we need to get back to that. We've gotten away from any of that kind of stuff, right? We focus in on our phones, we focus in on social media, we focus in on these things, but we're not focusing in on ourselves and how we can take care of ourselves.
A lot of it's a lifestyle, just how we wake up, what do we do, what thoughts we think, how we spend our time. So next question, regenerative medicine. Okay, so what is regenerative medicine today and what are the biggest misconceptions?
So the therapies that we focus in on, as simple as peptides to blended peptides to cell factors, even exosomes and even stem cells, they take your body and they heal it to regenerate organs, regenerate tissue, or regenerate the environment, the vascular environment, the microvascular environment in your body. And most things that we do in the allopathic or the traditional medicine way are to treat symptoms, right? And so these types of regenerative therapies or regenerative medicine is to heal the body and bring it back to normal, right? Without putting a pharmaceutical medicine into your body.
I think that people hear about this often, but they don't really understand it entirely. So how can our audience start thinking about healing and longevity in a more empowered way?
Yeah, I mean, the movement started with GLP-1s, right? I mean, GLP-1s are it's a peptide. It is a cell signal, right? It's a peptide that has the function, to help our body curb its metabolic disease, right? But it actually has a lot of other functions in like mind, like Alzheimer's we're learning. So it has a lot of other functions, and that goes away. That GLP-1 production goes away as we get older. So I think, the craze, even though some people are against it or not, not for it, it really started the movement and to people thinking like, oh my God, I can make myself better. But the whole idea of cellular health and cell signaling is just that. It's using your body's own cellular system to heal itself.
So it's actually really simple.
Very simple.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
I think that most people think it's too complicated, so they don't want to, stem cells, stem signaling, that's not for me. It's actually really simple when you break it down.
Yeah, it's simple and it's accessible. The other side of the business of the world wants everyone to think that it's complicated, it's hokey, or it doesn't work. We want to put measurement into it, the science into it, and show you that it can be as effective, if not more effective, than your traditional therapies.
So you said aging isn't just time passing, and I love that. So how does it actually show up as a communication problem between cells? Aging specifically.
So aging is a disease. It's just like, and it's the first disease that we should address as we're getting older, right? So if meditation's not working, food's not working, our lifestyle's not working, then we need to start addressing our aging, because that's going to cause to other diseases and injuries in our life. And it is a disease of cellular dysfunction. And that dysfunction causes our cells to start attacking our bodies and creating this inflammation. And that's why we age the way we do. And I don't believe that we should. There is, whether you believe in the religions of the world or not, right? The people wrote about people living to 120 years old,
I know,
700 years old. Multiple religions and races across the world talk about people living into these ages. That's not science fiction.
No,
that's
it's
not mythology. We were doing that at one point in time. We have gotten accustomed to only living 77 years old because that's what our society has given us. We're short-sighted, and we should start thinking that God created us this way to live long and healthy, not just long lives, healthy lives. We should be functioning at 100 years old. There is stories that tell us that we need to take a look back at where history was and where we've gotten to. And I don't think it's gotten better for the aging process. That's right.
So you know how they say we're not our age, we are our energy. Sounds good.
It's very you nailed it, by the way. So like, we are our energy that we put out there into the universe. And if we feel like we're dying and we're starting that path and we're constantly putting this negative energy out into the world about ourselves, right? Not even just feeling negative about the world itself, but feeling negative about ourselves, where is that going to lead, right? It leads to a negative outlook on you. And so if you don't address that, you have to, you're only putting yourself in this cycle of constantly putting, negativity out there and negativity received. Negativity out, negativity received.
Exactly.
And so
the universe kind of works like a mirror. What you put out comes back to you. So, but maybe if this is all foreign to you, starting with some gratitude practices and compassion and self-compassion, that always helps and makes the world better.
I agree with you 100%.
Super simple.
The energy
way.
you put out there is, and people want to receive good things, right? But sometimes they aren't willing to give good things out, right? So I think it's a give and take.
That speaks directly to anyone questioning their health and their energy levels and ability to focus and just live a fulfilled and happy life.
Yeah.
We all do. We want to be happy. Okay, so let's recap really quickly. What are 2-3 daily habits that genuinely improve cellular health and energy?
I think starting your day off without anything, like in this version of silence, so no phone, no nothing, no media, no none of this, just taking your time to like recognize that who you are when you wake up in the morning and what you have to do and what you want to accomplish, and taking that time to put yourself in. Even in stressful situations, I do that, even if it's middle of the day. But taking that first 10-15 minutes to find yourself every morning, and then starting your day. And then it is like, exercise is an important key. You have to have physically fit. You have to be nutritionally sound. You have to live a good life with people, right? You have to be giving. There is a part of the universe that wants to give back to you when you put things out there. So
we call it God.
Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. And if somebody would like to maybe learn more about your supplements, so tell us about the quantum and these other.
Yeah. So
supplements.
You go to regenTherapy.com. You use Sanjiv20 as the code. You can get on that site. You can go through the whole process. You can start everything to get quantum cell factors and other products too. Like if you want to try peptides, they're available there. There's other things that are accessible to you to start the regenerative process if your natural state is failing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
One question: how do you define life purpose?
Yeah, I think life purpose is creating health span versus lifespan, but the big purpose for me is to help people live healthy. Now, wasn't my purpose. My purpose in life 5 years ago was, how much money am I going to make? What kind of house am I going to have? What kind of car am I going to drive? And what are the things that I have for myself? What kind of ecosystem am I creating? And when I realized that that shit doesn't matter, because if you die and you're unhealthy and this is it, then all of those things have no value anyway. So the thing that does have value is if you can get more people healthy and make them understand and make them aware of the situation of the world that we're living in. Because I think everyone, we talk about being woke. This is the awakening.
Awakening.
This is an awakening. We're having our awakening moment. We're understanding like the things that we've been told are historically lies. The things that have been helping us, that we thought were helping us, were hurting us in the long term. They were putting us to a closer death. In the short, they were making us feel better, but they were putting us towards a closer death. We need to fix that so that we can help our kids, our grandkids, and their kids know each other, because that doesn't exist anymore either. And we can do that. There's a lineage to be had.
So it's great to have material wealth. That is a necessity, and it's great to have goals. But the real value is your health, how you contribute to the world around you, community. So those are real values. Health is a true wealth. We heard this so many times. If you can send a message that every person on the planet receives, what would it say?
Yeah, I think it would, for me, because I would say be kind to other humans, and then try to help them. So helping other people, it makes you feel better. It also makes you younger. So the more people you can help in this process, it doesn't matter what the situation is. For me, my journey is for helping them with their health. But if you can help them with anything, so if you can help others, you give purpose to your own life, and you give purpose to other people's lives. And then they feel responsible to do that to others as well too. So you pass the gift down to most people when you're helping others.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit, social media, where our audience can find you.
So my Instagram handle is Chief Regen Therapy. So that's my Instagram handle. My LinkedIn is Sanjiv Lal.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's such an honor to have you here. Your energy is incredible. It's almost healing talking to you. It's really, we are so grateful to have you here. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.